Welcome back, and on today's episode I'm going to show you how to get rock sounds in the studio. First things first, we're going to talk about the placement of the rock and how ergonomics work behind the rock. Basically, you want to get it to about waist level so that your arms are not bent or you're not pushing your arms out too far. So this is about a comfortable position right here where the sticks will hit the center of the rock, and that's where you'll get the best rock sound. I'm here now in Sonic Zen Studios with Mike. He's going to show you how to mic a rock. Oh, what kind of mic are you using, Mike?
It's an Audix D4. They're really fat. I typically use them on toms, but they're going to bring out a lot of extra beef on this slate stone rock.
Very nice. Nice choice.
Yeah, your rock is mic'd. I'm going to go. All right, I'm going to need you to hit the rock for me, Cam.
Hit the rock?
Hit the rock. Sounds good. Now, can you play around the rock a little bit? Can you kind of explore the rock for me?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Sounding fat. That's sounding fat.
Now that we got our levels and mic set up, I'm going to lay down some rock.
Alright, now we're going to show you how to mix a rock. First thing you're going to notice about a rock is it's a rock, which is different than a drum because a drum isn't a rock. Rocks have a very distinct tone. It's very, very tight, it's very sharp, it's got a lot of attack, and it can be a bit brittle sounding. So what you want to do is obviously you want to find a warm rock. You want to compare different rocks in your garden or any rock you're looking at recording, and you want to try to find one that's got kind of a nice low end, isn't overly harsh, has a good bounce and a good resonance to it. Once you've recorded your rock, something like this, you're going to notice that the rock is very articulate, but it lacks a certain, I don't know, which we're going to try to get right now. You can use any EQ, but I personally would choose to use the SSL-G EQ. So the first thing we're going to do when we're EQing the rock is we're going to start by high-passing some of the low end. Rocks don't really have any low end, so it's not really a problem, but we're going to do it anyway just because you want to abuse the system. Start by filtering out some of the low end. Not that rocks have any low end, but you're just going to want to do this anyway because you don't want the rock's low end to build up in your mix, because you can. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into what would typically be a problem frequency for a drum, 400 to 500 hertz. That's where a lot of the overtones in the rock will build up. And let's do 10. Let's do minus 10 dB at 450 hertz. And then we're going to add a bit of pointless, non-existent air to the rock at about 10K, just because we want it to sound extra delicate, extra fancy. So this is what it sounds like with the EQ. Not bad. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of compression because the rocks are really loud. And let's start with 12 o'clock and 12 o'clock right up the middle. Now we're just trying to gently take off the top of the rock so the rock doesn't become kind of overwhelming. You see that the rock is starting to become a little punchier. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use one of my favorite compressors to bus compress the rock. And we're going to use his nice little room smash as a preset. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of reverb. The rock's a bit flaccid, it's a bit dry. So I'm going to use a drum plate. Next, we're going to add a little bit of touch-up compression on the end. It's how you mix a rock.